Hi everybody and welcome to the last day of vlogmas slash bookmas. It's currently December 23rd, 1:30 in the afternoon, and I still need to make a few presents. I have two last minute things that I'm gonna crochet today. I have the examples of what I want to make because this is gonna be for a family of 4 and I only have 2 down so far. So we have 2 hats done. This is a kid's hat obviously, and I have this one in red, and then I'm gonna need to make another one in gray. So we have 2 gray, 1 red, and then I just went yarn shopping with one of my friends and we have a few selections for the other colorful hat. I think I want to make it green, and it's gonna be one of these 3 shades. I'm thinking one of these 2 because these just, I don't know, feel more like a kid to me, as opposed to this one is kind of more grown up, and it's also a different kind of material, and I kind of want them to match. This one would be the exact same brand as the wool that I use for this, and I actually did get this wool also because I think it looks so nice, and I might want to make like a little Sophie scarf, a Milot scarf for myself in this color because I love it very much. If I do end up using the darker wool, I got a few more balls of yarn because this one you just kind of need a lot of it. And then I also got another one of these super nice rich red yarns. This is the same brand as this color, and I think this could also look so nice as a hat or like a little scarf or something. So we have a lot of things to do today. Most like priority number 1 is the kids hat and the grown-up hat, so the green one and the gray one. Then I also still have this little project open. This is also a little scarf for myself. It's just really difficult to work with wool. It's kind of mohair cashmere, and it's very slippery and very, as you can see, like very fine, and like this is 2 strands, so these are tiny to work with, and I think I used needles that are too big, but we are this far and I'm not stopping now. So this is kind of the plan for today. As I mentioned, it's like 1:30, so I need to kind of hurry up so we can actually finish these today because I need them to be ready tomorrow, because tomorrow is the 24th and obviously I want to gift them on the 24th. And now I just need to figure out what color I want to do like the kids hat, because I think this type of yarn is so soft and so nice and it feels so good. So maybe I want to do this, and then it would also match this perfectly. But the dark green is also so nice. I think I might go with the light green because this is just a more kids color, and this one is like more, I don't want to say sophisticated because it's wool, but it just looks a little bit like nicer, and also I feel like brighter colors on kids are kind of nice. And it would also match this one because I didn't want to make like pink and blue or something, and I thought red and green would also be kind of Christmassy, and they also look really nice together. So yeah, I think let's start with the light green kids hat. Oh, and also this like yarn bag, it looks really deformed now, but this is one of my first crochet projects and I think it looks so cool. I did use a wool that was way too stretchy, so as you can see it's like really stretched out even though the wool isn't that heavy, but I think it looks kind of fun, and maybe this is gonna be like my wool bag. I do want to make something like this again, like the little fishnet thing with a more like structured wool that wouldn't be as stretchy, so that I could actually use it for like shopping. Oh, hello. But yeah, I'm so proud. This was one of my first projects, as I mentioned. So for this smaller kids hat, my pattern is gonna be, I'm gonna do 38 single crochets plus 2. That's gonna be for the first little double stitch, and then I'm gonna do 30 rows of double crochet, and I'm gonna use a 4mm or like size 4mm hook. This wool asks for 4 to 5mm. I just like it to be a little bit tighter, so I'm using the 4mm, and this is what it should look like in the end. I think I might time myself to see how long it actually takes. I think I could be done with this in probably 2 hours. This year is the first year that I'm doing like more handmade gifts. Like a couple people are getting hats for me this year, and I just started knitting, so the little scarf is the first like smaller item that I'm making that could also be a gift, because I think a big scarf is just so much effort. It takes such a long time that I don't really want to gift it because it just takes like weeks to make it. I think that next year I might do like little scarves, like the Sophie scarf or the Milot scarf. That's also really cute with like little, I think it's also called like eye lace scarf knitting pattern or something. I found it on TikTok. And then I also want to learn how to knit or crochet socks because I think that would also be a really fun gift. And I also have been making a couple of book covers, like book sleeves from crochet. Those are also really nice, and I think if I ever, like I have a few that I don't use personally because you just need like one, but I think in the future if I give somebody a book, I'm gonna wrap it in one of those book sleeves because I think that would make like a really nice, obviously a nice book sleeve, but also a nice wrapping paper thing. And then you could also reuse it and you don't have to use so much paper. I think that would also be a really good idea. But yeah, I'm gonna make this. Let's start out with 38 rows. But I learned this hack a while ago that you can just pull out the little like baby wool from the middle, but I can never pull out the smallest thing, so I always pull out like 3 of those. Yeah, because that's like a full-sized thing. So there should be another one in here, and then I think there's another one in there. Yeah, so now we have the small one that I'm gonna work with, the medium one, the big medium one, and then the mother yarn. So this is all inside of there, and I think I could probably make, because this should be 100 grams of wool, yeah, I could probably make like 3 or 4 kids hats with this. Right, I actually can't find the Harry Potter audiobook anymore, so we're just gonna watch The Chemistry of Death by Simon Beckett. I have like the whole series over there. I think The Chemistry of Death might be the first one, and it's a 6-episode show on Netflix. I don't really want to watch Harry Potter anymore. I think I've done it enough, and now it's time for something else. And I've been watching Pagan Peak on Netflix, and that was a really good show, and this was one of the recommended ones, and I also really liked this book. I think this author gets kind of a little bit repetitive, like it's always kind of the same person or the same type of person who is actually like ends up being the murderer, but I've never seen his books in like a show before, so we're gonna watch this. Okay, so I have the first 2 rows finished. As I mentioned, the first one is always the most tedious one because you need to be more careful so that you get like a nice bottom edge. And from here on out, I'm just gonna do a little tutorial because maybe you wanna crochet a hat too. Basically, it's just a square, and then I'm gonna cinch it at the top and then just flip it up so that it in the end looks like this. So this up here is like the little cinched part, and once you wear it like once or twice, then it doesn't look as like pulled together anymore. Then it's just gonna flatten out a little bit and just look like a regular hat. And what it is from here on out, basically you just repeat the same amount of stitches and you just do a double crochet, which is basically just wrapping the yarn around the needle and then going into the back loop, so not through both of the stitches from the previous row, but just go into the back loop and then just do a double crochet. Okay, so let's do a close-up. You want to skip the first stitch because the first, like the 3 single crochets that we do here are acting as the first stitch. You just wrap your yarn around your needle and then you just go into the back loop. Is that visible? Through the back loop, not through both, but just through the back loop of these 2 little loops. Obviously this is not like a really good crocheting tutorial because I don't really know how to explain it, but it's basically very simple, and one of these yarn balls is like 2 or 3 euros, so you could make a hat for that amount of money. You just need a little bit of time, but I think these are really cute gifts. Anyways, let's keep making this so I can actually finish today. Exactly 1 hour later and the first 10 rows are complete. I need a total of 30 rows, so I guess it's gonna take me 3 hours to do this. I thought it was gonna be quicker, but 1/3 is complete. So, and it went by pretty fast. 1 episode of the show is about 45 minutes long, so I can do 10 rows per episode. So in 2 episodes I'll be done with this one. 40 minutes later and 20 rows are complete. I'm making pretty good progress. It looks really nice. I wanted to mention the reason why I go in the back loop is to get this little like ribbed kind of stitch, and there's a lot more better tutorials than what I just showed, but it's basically the easiest thing that you can do. And also making this hat is super easy because, as I said, you just need to cinch it at the top and then it's a hat. But yeah, 10 more rows to go. I have 11 minutes left of the 2nd episode, so I should be done around halfway through the 3rd episode, I think. So far I have to say I think the show is really nice to watch in the background because there's not really many jump scares or anything, and it's kind of, for being a thriller, it's kind of calm, like not super loud music. So I think this is the perfect show for something like this. Alright, 30 rows are done. Now I just need to connect them so that we get a little hat. And I think I'm gonna take out my little stitch markers first so that I don't rip anything up. And basically what you do here is you just slip stitch all the way across the hat by connecting 2 stitches, like one from the left side and one from the right side. Hat number 1 is complete. All we need to do now is flip it and kind of adjust it a little bit. And here we have the finished hat number 2. It looks so cute, and I love the color combination of these two. I think they're both such pretty colors, and they're also kind of Christmassy themed with the red and green. I love them. They're so cute. And now I just need to get outside with Millie for a few minutes, and then we're gonna work on the second gray hat. So this is everything that we have right now, and this is all that I have left to do. I think, how long did that take me? It is currently a little bit after 4, so like 3-ish hours. So I think this one's probably gonna take 4 hours, which would mean I would be done not too late, so that's good. I need to give my hands a little break because I don't want them to start cramping up, because we do still have a couple hours to go. And I just remembered that I need to open my book advent calendar for today and yesterday because I forgot again. So let's start out with this one. Let's see what the book is. At this point, I truly don't remember any of the books, because the ones that I did remember have already been like unpacked. So very interested to see what I'm surprising myself with here. That's perfect timing. We might read this tonight. Snowed In for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. That's also the cutest cover ever. So the little headlines are: the perfect family Christmas with someone else's family, a family gathering, an uninvited guest, and a Christmas to remember. Next book. This one is another hardcover. Oh! Yes. This is one of the only self-help books that I have bought recently. Well, I guess not recently, it was like at the beginning of the year. But Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by Dr. Julie Smith. This sounded really interesting. I actually have another self-help book, I think self-help-ish, on my TBR. I found out about it like yesterday or like 2 days ago. I'll put a picture up, I can't remember. I think it's called The Gap and the Gain or something. Maybe you want to look into that. But this is my self-help book for 2025. I used to read kind of a lot of self-help books. Oh, it's so pretty with the gradient. I used to read a lot of, not like self-help books, but like Brianna Wiest, and then also The Power of Now and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I think it's called. Those type books. Oh, this one is so beautiful. I love the blue, and then with the gradient in here, it just looks really nice. Oh, this is like almost a tiny but sciencey book with like graphics and stuff inside. I think this book I'll just kind of read over the course of the whole year and not rush myself with this. Maybe annotate it a little bit more, like take notes or something. But yeah, so we have Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before, and then also Snowed In for Christmas, and I think I'll read like a few chapters of this tonight, which kind of defeats my goal for December, which was to finish all of the books that I started and not start a few more, because I have, well, this one, then Harry Potter 3, and also Iron Flame. I think those are all the books that I'm kind of in the middle of. Not too bad, but also I probably won't finish all of these this month, but I could finish this because it's a Christmas romance book. Okay, it's so dark, but I'm gonna start out with this little bit of gray yarn, and then also have another gray yarn ball, and then I also should have 2 more somewhere. And for my pattern, I'm gonna be doing 45 plus 2 single crochets for the length, I guess, and then 38 rows of double crochet, so 8 more than the kids, and then also a bit like longer. I leave like a little bit of a longer tail so that I can use this to cinch everything together, and then it's already like really securely on there this way. I think this is a bit too long actually. I kind of hoped that with making all of these hats I would kind of reduce all of the yarn that I have, like wool, and I could start out like buy fresh yarn and not have the old ones anymore. But the problem is I never have enough yarn for a project to finish, so I need to buy more of a specific color, and then I have too much for the project. I already forgot. I think 45 plus 2, yes, so 45 single crochets and then 2 more. First 10 rows of the gray beanie are done, and now it is time. I always try to use my scrap wool first, so that I have only like full balls of yarn as like scraps. So I worked in all of my scraps into that piece, and now it is time to break open a new wool. We're gonna try and get everything out again. Good morning, everybody. Sadly, yesterday we had to put Millie down because of her condition, her sickness. Her heart wasn't really working anymore, and her kidneys also kind of gave out, so it was the best thing for her to do. It was very sad, but I thought I would still include this because I've been kind of documenting her condition with these almost daily vlogs. So I feel like it would kind of make sense to include this too. Also, I do want to post this video because I'm proud of the hats I made. I restarted my scarf again. Didn't get very far, but that's where I'm at. Yesterday I've mainly been knitting and dissociating, honestly. And I know that the holidays are a tough time for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. This just added one more reason to my list. I didn't open my book advent calendar yesterday, so we can still do that together to have one last little surprise. The Fallen Princess. It's a really pretty, kind of not special edition, but like a more special book. Oh, and it also has illustrations. That kind of looks like Powerless. Doesn't that also have like the kind of same exact sword on there? But then it has illustration in the back too. I'll see if I find some more. The chapter icons are also kind of nice, and that also looks really pretty. I know that this is a series. It's a romantasy. I've never read a romantasy like recently by this author before. She wrote the Max and Hall series. I don't know if those were a thing anywhere else than like Austria and Germany, but I think those were available in English too. I think I'll start this once I'm done with Throne of Glass because I need to kind of organize how many romantasy fantasy books I read at the same time because I keep getting confused. As I mentioned, I know that the holidays aren't easy for a lot of people, but I still hope you have nice holidays and maybe just like a peaceful time and not happy holidays. And I'll see you kind of soon in the next one. I'll take a little break, but I'll see you soon.